Listening to the homily on March 15th about the good work being done for the unhoused folks in Victoria, I gained some insights from some of the dynamics at play between the work they're doing and what we're doing. In the case of our place society, there is high visibility of the population they're serving, and sadly, we have some idea, a pretty good idea of what homelessness looks like, at least what we see. Our focus, on the other hand, is on individuals and their pets who are being abused behind closed doors, so we don't see them. There is a taboo in our culture that it is not right to interfere with what's going on in our neighboring house, even if we suspect intimate partner violence. To a concerned neighborly observer, it is hard to prove there is wrongdoing unless we're able to document the abuse. But then we would be intruding or spying, and that would be rude at best and dangerous at worst. Pretty much every Sunday, I see us coming up to cast a pebble to speak to our concerns and sadness about all the wars that are happening in our world right now. And here I am to speak about yet another kind of war, a very silent one that takes place behind the closed doors in every neighborhood in Canada. You may be surprised by the numbers. According to Stats Canada, 48% of Canadian women will experience intimate partner violence in their lifetime. This 2024 report states that there were over 140,000 victims of family violence and over 125,000 victims of intimate partner violence in Canada. Family violence has increased for the 5th year in Canada, 5th consecutive year. It's really important to keep in mind that these types of violence are often not reported to authorities, since victims may, for example, be unaware that they are being victimized. They may not know how to seek help. They may be unable to report their victimization, and they may be dependent on their perpetrator. This might likely be due to the fact that the highest rate of intimate partner violence is reported by young women under 30 and teenage girls. In the report it says age 12 and up. I respect and honor those women who can navigate their safe departure from the tyranny of abuse. It is not an easy choice to make. It is fraught with secrecy, and danger can be lurking almost anywhere. And it is even harder for those who have pets or farm animals needing safe shelter as well. This isn't an easy topic to speak about. I take encouragement from the line in our prelude, "Toward the light of truth lead me. Through my soul let courage thunder." And on the back of this jacket it says, what does it say? Be brave. You were born to do this. That's why I got this jacket, because it has those words on it. The situation I'll be talking about is pretty scary. Now, we know that in the first few weeks of 2026, multiple cases of women killed by intimate partners were reported in British Columbia and Quebec. I find myself wondering if any of these women had pets. At least half of Canadian families have pets. 56% of women, children, and their pets need access to safe housing, but avoid leaving their abusive situation because many transition houses don't accept pets. Because of underreporting, Amy Fitzgerald, the executive director of the British Columbia Society of Transition Houses, she says it's more likely 90% delay leaving their abuser. The numbers of women and girls served by transition houses in BC are in the tens and thousands and are growing tragically every year. So in 2018, transition houses in BC supported 13,000 women, children, and youth. In only 5 years, that number increased to over 40,000 women and over 25,000 children who accessed safe homes, transition houses, and second stage housing. That is well over 65,000 individuals needing safe shelter from abuse in their homes. Due to underreporting, the real numbers are likely a lot higher. That's a lot of women and children tucked away in houses in our neighborhoods that are living in well-hidden terror. Every year in November, the BC Society for Transition Houses undergoes a 24-hour census. The 2024 findings of this census show that in just one day, 85 women's transition housing and support programs supported 1,600 women, children, and youth experiencing violence. But a further 350 women, youth, and children were unable to access life-saving services that day. And this is in large part due to the housing crisis. People that are in second stage housing aren't able to find new homes, so it's kind of like a domino effect. So the transition houses are more the 30-day emergency placement, and they can't access those because there's a backlog. So the housing crisis is a big part of this. And the need to provide safe housing for pets, you can imagine it complicates things a bit further. Alarmingly, the 2024 data also shows that the percentage of women in BC disclosing lethal threats has doubled since 2023. And these numbers demonstrate the need for greater capacity in safe sheltering programs in BC. I was so glad to hear that our place is welcoming women and their pets who are needing to leave inter-partner violence. When survivors aren't able to access safe shelter, they sometimes get frustrated and want to go back to their abuser or friends because they're not finding houses. This can be a very dangerous situation for women and their children and their pets. And I think it's a good time now for us to sing one of my favorite Unitarian hymns. And this will be followed by a moment of silent meditation. I will ease you out of your silence with the sound of the brass bowl. So we're going to sing here in the silence. Here in the silence, may your hearts be open to feeling human pain and sorrow, open to healing, mending the tomorrows, moved by the silence here. These words grab my heart every time I read them. In our desire to not turn a blind eye to this issue, Warm Hearts is choosing to go forth with our hearts open to the human pain and sorrow and that of the overlooked animal victims as well. It can be so easy to feel overwhelmed with all the bad news out there. It can seem like everywhere we look and turn and hear, bad things are happening. So how do we cope? For Kim and me, the decision to do something by focusing on one issue was important. Our charity reflects our strengths, and we are guided by our personal mission to protect and nurture the human-animal bond in whatever way we can. Our registered Canadian charity, Warm Hearts Pet Safe Havens, was founded in 2021 after our move to Victoria. Isolated as we were during the pandemic, it gave us time to get our ducks in the row to launch Warm Hearts, and we're really pleased to be able to share and talk with you about what we're doing. Our mission at Warm Hearts is to support both people and pets by working to help transition houses shelter animal companions in the province of British Columbia. Valuable work has been undertaken to minimize barriers encountered by transgendered and racialized women, among others. However, there is another sizable, often overlooked population group that warrants attention, and that is the survivors of gender-based violence and their pets. In the context of our troubled world, we are bringing our ears to our troubled homes and families in which pets are the lesser-known victims, and often the saving grace for their survivors. Many survivors of domestic violence say they wouldn't have gotten through without their pets. Their companion animals can represent the only positive relationship in their lives. So imagine asking a woman and her children to leave her pets behind when those same pets were their lifeline. This bond between people and their pets is especially important to consider because many victims will delay leaving an abusive situation for fear of leaving their pets behind. We know that pets are commonly ranked as family members, and a large percentage of women in shelters also have to make a very hard choice whether or not to leave their pets behind in the hands of their perpetrator. Just 2 years ago, only 25% of transition houses in BC implemented a pet-friendly housing program to support survivors. Now, fortunately, that number has increased to 48%, so that's really good to see. And perhaps our collaborative work is yielding positive outcomes. But there's still work to be done. There is a very real gap in resources that contribute to ensuring the safety of all victims of domestic violence. We don't know how many women may never leave an abusive partner due to concern for their pets, but we do know that women who have left their pets behind and go to shelter sometimes return to their abuser, and we do know that this puts them at greater risk of being injured or even killed by their abuser. This is a sobering reality. Tragically, research has also shown that farm animals or pets may suffer directly from neglect or other forms of cruelty, including sexual abuse. But they may also be used as a tool for the abuser to control and punish the victims. In a Saskatchewan-based study, nearly 70% of the respondents said that their pets or farm animals had been harmed, and 75% of that had occurred in front of the children. So you've got children being exposed to domestic violence and animal abuse in their homes, and that's a place that is supposed to be a safe place, a sanctuary. I invite you to consider this really important point. Children who witness animal cruelty are 8 times more likely to become perpetrators. One example is Keith Jesperson, a serial killer from Chilliwack. who sadly acted out the violence he experienced in his home on both animals and on people. So we at Warm Hearts strongly believe that ensuring safety for pets ought to be part of the mandate of all shelters for survivors of abuse. Transition house staff have reported that they feel ill-equipped to initiate the policy development and the logistics of finding space and money to implement pet sheltering programs that fit their needs. Often they are short-staffed and overwhelmed with the urgent nature of their work. In response to this, Warm Hearts created legally vetted safe pet policy packages, which include policy documents specific to 4 different models of animal sheltering that would be available to pet guardians entering transition houses. In addition, I've created a series of 4 webinars on understanding canine behavior. Abused dogs coming into transition houses are very likely to present with unpredictable behaviors. My hope is that transition house staff who are anxious about bringing dogs into homes will feel more confident after they better understand how dogs experience their world. We also offer Pet Safe grants to cover the cost of off-site sheltering for pets. Our pre-approved grant is very helpful, and when the transition house receives a call in the middle of the night and they need funds right away, the funds are already available to them. While we recognize the ideal that dogs with their person is best, we are providing a resource that allows for the survivor to get out of Dodge quickly with their pet, knowing that they will be in safekeeping. Not all transition houses take pets. Some transition houses might be at full capacity for pets in their care. I think one house reported that they had 8 dogs in their home recently. And some dogs just aren't suitable for the transition house, the congregant living environment. I'd like to tell you about an exciting research program that we are about to launch through Warm Hearts. In fact, while I was writing this, I received news that the first MOU had been signed, so that's exciting. I first got the idea for this in April of 2024, so it has taken us 2 years to actualize this. We got caught up in the research ethics for 5 months, and that's because of the serious security concerns of this demographic. To optimize the sense of safety and a positive outcome for pet-owning survivors, Warm Hearts is presently collaborating with BCSTH, that's the Society of Transition Houses, and SFU to implement research initiative that we call CALM. The CALM program provides participating transition house workers, residents, and their dogs with the opportunity to receive a fulsome assessment report, the dog's physical, social, and cognitive well-being upon intake. Certified behavioral consultants will then interpret the assessment and create low arousal management and training tailored to the needs of their person. I think this will be a very helpful program for transition house staff. I can well imagine that it could be unnerving to bring a stressed out dog into a congregant living situation that already has high levels of stress hormones, namely cortisol, coursing through the system. Dogs are very attuned to that kind of information, and they can be very overwhelmed by it. This period of initial adjustment to new housing is the time when canine cortisol levels are highest and behavioral patterns are most malleable. Because dogs that have experienced abuse often exhibit long-term psychological changes, including significantly higher rates of aggression and fear, immediate specialist intervention during this window is critical. Setting up the logistics for the requirement that dogs have a vet check provided a steep learning curve for me. As you might imagine, there is a high rate of security breach when a survivor takes a dog to a vet. Now, this just seemed like a very simple request to me, and it was like, I was really taken aback by all the aspects of security that needed to take place. When the new vet reaches out to a previous vet, the perpetrator could easily find out where that dog is, thereby threatening not only the safety of the dog and the survivor, but the new veterinarian involved as well. and we did hear from the Society of Veterinarians that veterinarians have been threatened in these situations. Gladly, BC Housing was encouraging the transition housing network to become pet-friendly. There are policies demanding that all new shelter builds be pet-friendly. Sadly, this commitment may be compromised due to funding shortages. I am proud of what we have accomplished in the past 4 years, but as with our place, there's always more work to be done. Warm Hearts knows that dogs coming into transition houses often present with physical injuries such as internal injury or broken limbs. Anyone with a pet knows how expensive veterinary care is. We would very much like to be able to cover veterinary care for women and pets that are fleeing for their lives. When we're able to provide wholesome pet sheltering for women needing to leave violent situations, that's when I feel like I'm doing what I was put on earth here to do. Now I would like to call up the picture of the painting of the tree. So this is a painting that I did of a tree that I saw in Fetus Lake Park. Despite the fact that it had burned through near the base, you could actually see through it. The tree was flourishing. That's pretty amazing to me. And it has become like a personal emblem for my belief in the regenerative spirit, the Holy Spirit of life. This is the little arbutus tree that could, getting through this obvious mishap. She was determined to get through the world the best that she could. So now we're going to sing that song with the recording, sing along, and I'm going to get through this world. You're invited to sing along.
Just a word about this song. The lyrics were written by Woody Guthrie, the legendary folk activist singer of the 20th century, and he wrote the lyrics but never got around to recording the song. A woman named Lisa Gutkin of the Klezmatics, a great klezmer and other music band, picked up the lyrics and wrote this song. So we can have a listen to the first verse. The rhythms are a little tricky, but then we can sing along after that. Lots of changes of tempo and things. Here we go. Stand as you like, but join in singing second verse.
Well, I'm gonna get through this world the best I can if I can. And I'm gonna get through this world, and I think I can. Well, I'm gonna work in this world the best I can if I can. And I'm gonna work in this world, and I think I can. And I think I can. I'm gonna get through this world the best I can if I And I'm gonna clean up this world, and I think I can. I'm gonna leave this world behind, the best I can if I can. And I'm gonna leave this world behind, and I think I can, and I think I can. Here we go. I'm gonna clean up this world, the best I can if I can. I'm gonna leave this world behind, the best I can if I can. I'm gonna get through this world, the best I can.
Lovely singing of
So that song fits well in with our vision that we want to be open to healing and mending the tomorrows. We want to do what we can to facilitate the reality of survivors walking through their world with their beloved animals at their side, working in this world and talking in this world the best that they can, and walking away free from the tyranny of abuse the best they can. And now we'll have our offering, and the choir is going to sing that song while the offering is being circulated.